Too.
Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I am Jason, as always, my co-host, Mr. Zack Partridge. Zack, do you have a pin anywhere near you? Put it down. Put the pin away.
I already put it away.
Step away from the pin.
I'll just do this. Our last podcast, I kept clicking the pin.
Zack kept clicking the pin, like right in the mic, too. Just click, 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 click.
It wasn't in the mic. Get out of here.
It sounded like it was.
Quit being dramatic.
Amateur.
Anyways.
Amateur hour over here.
Jeez, man. Well,
Basically.
I'm kind of very excited about this podcast. Two guests we've had on before, Soula and DeAnna Bennett. We've had both of you guys on before. And I kind of feel like a jerk, Tandi, because we haven't had you on yet. And
hey, my life has been busy, so that's okay.
You have twin girls, right? Now
I have twin
toddlers.
I'm trying to put them down for a nap.
Good luck with that.
She literally popped her eyes open and she's like, "Color?" I'm like, yeah.
Hey,
So
she can come on the podcast too if she wants.
She's upstairs, luckily. So
she's so cute. They're so cute, you guys.
They're
the cutest little girls ever.
Adorable.
In the world.
So are they going to fight? Are they going to fight too? Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. One is very coordinated, but extremely sensitive and tender, and does not like it when people wrestle around her. But she's coordinated, so I think when she gets older, she'll kind of get into it. But the other one loves it and just loves to punch, loves to kick. We have a little bag that I try to get them to practice on, but
that's awesome.
My littlest one, though, she's the one that ripped my bicep off the bone. So, thanks to her, I've had a long year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not fun. And how old are they, Tandi? How old are they?
2 years and 3 months.
It's a fun age.
Yeah, they're wild. Actually, me and DeAnna had surgeries literally 2 days apart.
Yeah, something like that.
I was having my surgery.
Having all the fun.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, Soula, I just got to thank you for putting this podcast together, because if it wasn't for you, I would have not have even thunk of having everybody on. So thank you for getting this together for us.
I feel like it's about I don't know. We're too focused on the boys all the time. The girls are doing some cool stuff too.
You girls are doing some damn awesome stuff.
Hey, to be fair, DeAnna is the first 3-time guest of this podcast.
Yep. And I think she's in the same position at every podcast.
But I'm kind of one of the boys, though.
She's just laying down, just chilling in the podcast. Yeah, I'm just laying here.
So she's the first. Comfort. So she's the first 3-time guest. So you're a 2-time guest now, which there hasn't been a lot of those either. So I would say the women are being represented pretty okay here.
Good.
I'd say equal. We're equal, and plus, we just love fighters and everything. We don't care.
Yeah, you know what's weird is I'd like to think that Zack and we know the local scene pretty well. That's why we started the podcast, for the local scene. And I kind of feel like a jerk because I didn't know Tandi. I've even trained at your gym a couple times a week, and I'm like, "Who's Tandi? What does she do?" So, Tandi, I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, I guess we'll go back.
Don't be shy. I've heard all about you now, so I know everything.
Oh, do you?
Well, not everything. I just know you're a badass. I've heard the stories.
I have a lot of stories.
Your story.
Well, I started fighting or training to fight when I was 20. I had been doing personal training at 24 Hour Fitness with my best friend Melanie. We started there together when we were 19, 20. She met these guys up in Salt Lake, and they're going to teach her how to fight because she went and did some fight in a bar, and they said that she did awesome. So they're like, "Hey, we'll teach you how to do what we do is Muay Thai." And she's like, "You got to come with me." So I went with her, and it was the best workout I'd ever had. And I wasn't thinking about working out. It was just I was finally learning some discipline, and and it's something that I had always wanted to do. So we started training and driving up to Salt Lake. We actually started at Walt Bayless Jiu-Jitsu, which isn't there anymore. This is like old school, guys. This is what?
Yeah.
20 years ago? Holy moly. Anyways, so we started at Walt Bayless with Mickey Porritt and Griffin Renaud, and I loved it. I fell in love with it, and we were driving up to Salt Lake. Geez, we did that for the first few years, driving up to Salt Lake, and we trained with Kwame Stevens, who's an amazing coach. And then like a year after we were in training, some of my training partners talked me into doing a tournament, the IKF tournament in Florida, and they're like, "We're all doing it. You got to do it too." And when I first got into it, I was like, "I'm never gonna fight. I just want to do this for fitness." But they talked me into it, and I did it, and I ended up fighting the champion from the past 4 years. So she was 7-0, and I was 0-0, and she just demolished girls. I mean, she literally just would walk them or punch them to the ropes, and they would drop. I mean, it was pathetic. Anyway, that was my first fight, and I gave her the hardest fight she'd ever had, but I still lost to a decision. And I just remember it was like the worst feeling ever. And I was like, I'm never losing again. And no matter what, I mean, I went through some injuries and stuff, and still was just determined and won every that. But it's just my passion, and I love it. And yeah. But what else? Geez, I could tell you lots of stories. What do you want to know?
Sorry, I'm trying to get my.
Jason's having technical difficulties, but So when did you first starting here in Utah? When were there shows here in Utah that you could start fighting them?
It was the Showdown.
The Showdown fights?
Yep. Will Farah and Scott Butler put on the Showdown fights. Or no, Showdown started with Adam Lagat. Adam started the Showdown. Going back so many years, you guys.
That's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to bring it all the way around.
I love it.
Oh, yeah. So it started with Adam Lagat. He started the Showdown, and then Will took over and did all that. And that's what this is for Will and for everything he did for us. I mean, he brought so many people out for his shows. All of Team Alpha Male. So he sponsored all of Team Alpha Male and Uriah and all those guys, Chad and TJ, and so everyone became really good friends, was coming out to Utah a lot for Will's shows. And so a lot of those fighters went on to fight in the big shows. I mean, it was incredible what he did. So after lost Will, it's MMA kind of slowed down a bit, and then the Fierce Fighting Championship started taking off. Amazing. Incredible what they're doing now. So I'm really excited to see the show on Saturday and to watch Soula and to watch all of our Utah, I guess, alumni. Utah. To have a lot of those guys fight, man, it's so cool.
It's gonna be a big night as far as his names, but it's almost like I think for me it's a fun card because it's a little bit of like a passing of the torch too, because there's like a lot of the old Utah fighter names, but then there's so many up and comers that they're actually fighting too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's gonna be really cool.
Bobby, oh my gosh, that's gonna be.
Yeah, the whole card's on fire. Shout out to my mom. That's my mom. That's commented would not have pegged you guys as fighters. Hi, Mom.
Well, sweet.
I lost you guys for a second
great
too.
Name. I like her name.
Yeah, it's a good name. It's a good name.
Right. Handsome.
Hi, handsome.
Handsome. He's such a little guy.
Such a little guy.
So, DeAnna, how many fights did you do for Showdown?
I had 4. So my first 4 pro fights were for Showdown. And then I went to Invicta straight from there. And honestly, I don't think I would have made it to Invicta. I don't think I would have gone anywhere with my career if it wasn't for Will and if it wasn't for Showdown. They really gave me the opportunity to go out there and to fight and to make a name for myself, honestly. and I'm so appreciative of that. And I'm really excited that they're having this car for Fierce this weekend to honor Will and everything that he's done. Like, he really propelled Utah MMA a long way, and me personally, and Tandi and all of us. And it's
me too. Yeah.
Great.
I mean,
yep.
I wouldn't have done all the things I did without.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Will pushed us and motivated us. Man, I had a recording on my phone of voicemail that Will left me years ago, and I literally just went to go listen to it again just the other day, and it got deleted because it said wrong. I was so sad, but it was literally him leaving me a message.
Oh no!
Because of me, and and that's why I saved it forever.
That's awesome.
If he had left me that a few months before he had passed, and I always saved it. He was such a big influence in our lives, by motivating us and encouraging us and being a number one fan of us, and he was that way with so many fighters, so many. And that's why we all love him. He just has such a incredible person and just kind of energy about him,
I think a lot of promoters too. I think you can really set aside, and I think Cody's been this way from the little bit that I've got to work with him. I like the Steel Fist guys; they've been good to me too. But you get those promoters that care about the fighters as people and don't really care if they win or lose. They're just there to support them and love them.
Yeah,
those guys. I mean, you can tell on those shows how I don't know. How the priority is there for the fighters, and it seems like Will did a really good job with that.
Mm-hmm. And always focused on taking care of, making sure that we were all okay.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's rough. I mean, geez.
Did we lose her a little bit?
So
can you guys hear her?
Can you hear?
You're cutting out a little bit, Tandi.
Oh, sorry. Someone was calling me on my phone.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Sorry, guys. So between the three of us, we've had so many injuries. We literally should be a bionic, walking woman. Insane. And
100%.
We're not old. Well,
I don't know. I feel like it. Come on now.
I never get injured. I don't know what you're talking about.
Never, ever. Wink, wink.
So incredible. But despite all of our injuries, yes, we are pretty damn tough.
So Soula, what's it like getting an opportunity to train with DeAnna and Tandi and honestly everybody you get to train with? You get some high level training where you're at. So
yeah. So actually Tandi was I took my very first kickboxing class from Tandi. Tandi taught me how to punch and how to kick, and it took her a year to teach me how to kick. Okay. This poor woman. I was hopeless.
It worked in the end.
Because again, I never intended to fight, or I was just there to get in shape, and I really liked it, and I've always liked to punch things, so but I never intended to fight. And she was so patient with me, and she really taught me. My entire clinch game is from Tandi, and that's really pretty much what I'm known for.
And it's good.
And then I didn't know DeAnna when I first started. Actually, funny story. I was down at the pit working with Tandi, and I had heard about DeAnna, and I was like, "Whoa, a female professional fighter, like an act," because she was in Invicta already at the time, right? And I'm pretty sure she was getting ready for a fight, and she was walking in. I kind of looked at her, and she was probably not having the best day, and she was wearing these aviators, and she kind of looked over at me, and I was like, "Woo!" And I ran for my life. But now
I love that story.
I have the opportunity to train with her too, and she's taught me so much. A giant part. So my head coach is Deana Zepeda down at EGBAR.
Yep.
And my striking coach is Denver Nerva. But I mean, I've learned, like, I've been so fortunate. And I was actually thinking about this the other day. I was like, never, if you had asked me 10 years ago, if you would have brought my name up with Tandi's and Deanna's, I probably would have laughed so hard I peed my pants. I never would have expected or thought that I'd be sitting here on a podcast, like being mentioned in a torch passing kind of way with Tandi and Deanna. It's like, it's an honor, you guys. I love you guys. Thank you. Thanks for everything.
Aww.
It's a watching.
You're the best.
Like being in it for so long and stuff, but watching the difference. I mean, even with Deanna, you guys could have seen Deanna and Soula before they started fighting. You would be absolutely amazed at where they are today. They are incredible, beautiful, talented. Like, I remember when Deanna first came into LA boxing.
Yep, that's the one.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I started going to your classes there. Just like Soula, I started going to Tandi's classes at LA Boxing. That's where I met her way back in the day.
Way back in the day. Holy cow. And
oh gosh.
Like, oh, I just want fitness. I'm like, you need to fight. You need to fight. You're so tough. And there was this girl that wanted her to fight that had been doing it longer than her and had been she was bigger than her, she'd been doing it longer than her, and she punched like a freaking semi truck. And we convinced Deanna to fight her. And we did, I mean, it was like smoker bouts and get, like people that, like, you couldn't say they won. But Deanna did amazing and totally won that fight. But I remember her going into it like super nervous, like, she's bigger than me, she's stronger than me, and she still like dominated. Seeing where these girls are now, it is incredible. It is incredible to see, like, just not like their fighting skills. Of course, their fighting skills are night and day from where they were, obviously. But it's their personalities, their confidence level, their energy around other people. Even that has for the better from fighting.
It's true.
And I
100% right.
Oh yeah. Nah, from fighting is.
It's what?
We can't hear you, Tandi.
Somebody's calling again.
No. I just have bad service. Go grab my laptop while you're talking, but.
Oh, that's
okay.
Yeah, I think we're good. So Soula, Saturday.
Yes.
You ready to throw down? How you feeling?
Oh, dude, I feel awesome. I am like, dude, I have a question for Soula.
Yeah, Buzz has got a question.
And then I will answer.
Come on, Buzz, shoot it over, and I'll put it up. You can go ahead. So I'll put it up once he says it.
I feel freaking amazing right now. Like, even like during a weight cut, my energy levels are great. Like, I have no complaints. I'm like, honestly, punching and kicking harder than ever. And I think I have some new tricks up my sleeve, thanks to somebody who's on this podcast with us right now. Just a few. So I'm excited.
So Buzz wants to know what round it'll be over. Deanna says one. Tandi,
yeah.
What do you think, Tandi?
Oh, I think one.
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't know. I can tell you it's going to be a finish. I'm going to get a finish. But sometimes, here's the thing. We'll see how it goes. I'm pretty confident I could have hit it in the first round, but I'm mean. I like to make people suffer a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, if I see that, like I'm kind of starting to dig, like if I see like maybe like, ooh, your nose is starting to break a little bit, I'm freaking go after it. I'm gonna break your face. So, and then I'll finish you. So.
I hope Mitch doesn't make you mad at.
That's how you do get the finish. So.
Yeah. But yeah, probably the first round. We're gonna go first round.
He has it coming.
All right. There we go, Buzz. There's your answer. It's gonna be over with in the first round.
Mitch's fight. I'm calling Mitch's fight under a minute.
Whoa.
He's consistently finishing everything under a minute, so we'll stick with that.
Yeah, I don't think he's been in the pro cage for more than a minute. Maybe a minute and a half. His first one.
No, like
maybe.
Mitch has had one more fight than I've had, but I think he's not even half the time in the cage as me.
Yeah, his first fight was over. Both of his pro fights were over with pretty quick.
Yeah, like his first pro fights, I think both of them. The last one was like 40 seconds, I think. The one before that was like maybe a minute 15. His first fight lasted a total of like 38 seconds, I think. Yeah, he hits pretty hard.
Both those guys hit pretty hard.
Both those guys are. We were talking before we got on the podcast, Soula and I, and that's, if there's one guy that's game and ready to step in the cage with Mitch, which a lot of fighters haven't been game to do that. It's Trevor.
They say they are until it's
they
time
say
to
they are
actually do it.
till they.
That's why I love Trevor so much too, though. It's like all these people are always dropping out against Mitch, and I'm like, he won't drop out. Like if he can fight, he'll fight. So it's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. Super excited. Deanna, do you have anything on the horizons? Yes.
I don't. I'm just in like the tail end of my recovery from my hamstring. Like
Right.
I actually have an appointment with my surgeon on Monday, crossing fingers, everything should be good. I've been miserable for the last 4 months, just waiting for this stupid hamstring to heal and going through recovery. You can ask Soula every day. I'm just like, can I train today? And she's like, did the surgeon say you can train today? I'm like, no. She's like, back in the corner. So I watch them do jiu-jitsu and I hate my life and I sit there. Yeah, I get upset. But hopefully, I'm aiming to get back as soon as possible. I just need to stop being a fat kid and actually, I don't know, become an athlete again. Because every day I wake up and I'm like, remember when I was an athlete? Yeah, that's been a while. So
go back to bed.
We're maybe no. So I stay awake. It's just me and my hand in a bag of pork rinds. Or I'm not gonna lie, I hit a point where I was in recovery. I'm like lying in my bed in my back brace, and I fell asleep with a bag of pork rinds tucked in my arm, and I woke up with my hand still in it, and I was like, winning, man. Absolutely winning today. Shocker why I'm single. No one knows why. Anyways, I got pork rinds. I'm good. That's all I need.
Hey, it's all you need. Some pork rinds.
Deanna and Tandi, are you guys going to be there Saturday
They comfort
night?
me.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't miss it. So
I got a question for Tandi. Nice shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
I love it. Those turned out really good.
I know. I'm really excited.
Tandi, I got a question for you. So you have a couple fighters that are going to be fighting soon coming out of your gym. And there's two in particular that I cannot wait for. Mina and Handsome. When are we going to get Handsome a fight? I know we already got Mina a fight. Oh my gosh. When is Handsome going to get a fight?
So to be honest, like since I've been going to the gym. I just started back 3 weeks ago, and I go in on Fridays. So Mina and Cunny and Casey and all them, they're running it.
Yeah.
They're doing incredible, and they have teamed up with each other, holding pads for each other and training each other. And my old coach, James Sakamoto, has been down training Mina and helping her get ready for her first fight. That's who I'm so excited for Mina.
I snuck in yesterday because she's been coaching me for the last couple of weeks, and I snuck in and caught the last 15 minutes of her training session. Wow. Yeah. With Mina, she's she's going to be one to watch out for. And I'm Soula. I know you know too, because I know you guys have trained together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mina and I train quite a bit together. Mina's gonna freaking kill it.
It's kind of, it was interesting to see that because for me, I don't get to see that side of somebody that's coaching me unless they're fighting, and I've never seen that side of her, and to watch her train like that, it's like, oh man, like I knew she knew what she was doing. Obviously I hired her to be my coach, but seeing her in action like that, it was pretty good.
She has she's got a lot of skills, but it's her heart. Like that girl is not.
Yeah.
She'll keep going after him.
I'm excited. Looks like you guys got a question. Has anybody ever fought in Idaho? Any of you girls ever fought in Idaho?
Nope.
I
Yeah.
fought some people from
I don't think
Idaho.
so.
But I have never actually fought in Idaho.
Same.
Tandi, how long has it been since you had a fight?
Oh my gosh.
I looked online. It says 2011. Is that right?
2000. Yeah. So it was November of 2011 because it was 2012 when I met my husband. And before the fight in 2011, actually, DeAnna and I were wrestling. And one of the takedowns, I took her down and laughed and ruptured the disc in my neck.
Oh.
And then I was too scared to get it fixed. And I actually fought on it 6 weeks later and made it worse. I still won the fight. I broke my
That's all that matters.
first and then still pushed forward and somehow still won the fight. Even though I couldn't see, I was super like delirious. I felt like I was upside down in the cage, but I still won the fight.
That's
Anyways, so it was after that.
And you did good.
Did okay, man. Watching fights when you know the injuries that you have in that fight, but watching you push through it, where everyone else in the crowd doesn't realize what has just happened, and they're like, "Come on, what are you doing?" And you're like trying to like get your bearings back. And, like, you're like, "Man, can I punch?" And my hands, I had John Hackleman wrap my hands. And he wrapped them so tight because he's used to wrapping like Court's hands and Chuck Liddell's hands, all the big boys. And so he wrapped my hands so tight they turned purple. And I remember cutting my wrap open to try to get some circulation. So I felt like I couldn't punch because my hands were like falling. And I had bronchitis the week before. And she broke my eye socket in the first minute.
No.
And it was a rough fight. I still won somehow, but that was rough. Anyways, so after that, I had to.
Because you're awesome.
Thank you. I love you. I fused my neck. I have 567 fused, and so anytime I would do jiu-jitsu or wrestling, just using the head to pressure and driving the shoulder would just light up my neck. And after going through a surgery like that, I was so nervous to do jiu-jitsu and wrestling. So and it was hard because Sean Shelby, the matchmaker for the UFC for the lighter weight class, called Scott Bowler 4 different times asking me to fight for the UFC after Ronda had got. And I kept telling Scott, like, I don't think I can. I don't know. Let's see if I can do my surgery and maybe it will do better. And just got to the point where I was okay. I was all right. And I, the gym and other people fighting and trying to heal my body and I was okay not fighting after that. I mean, yes, I was sad to not be able to go and fight in the UFC or the bigger show. And I had just gotten to that point, but I was okay having a family and eating food and not having to cut weight. Man, I mean, I look good, but I love food. Right?
I think we can.
Don't mind me. I'll just be over here eating the plastic bottle cap.
she's like, 48 hours away from weigh-ins.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh. You could have water, Soula. All the water you want
I can
today.
have all the water, can't I? Yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't cut out for a bathroom break yet. We've been going for 30 minutes, no bathroom break.
I'm being patient. I'm good. I do have to go. I really do, but I'm good. See, this is where we practice our mental fortitude and strength.
There you go.
Right here.
She's like a camel. She just like stores it in her back.
Usually it's me getting up and going to the bathroom once or twice during our podcast.
It's true. And then if I'm in fight camp, it's me.
Yeah.
Right? Or just handing the torch off.
Yeah.
I love watching these girls fight. I mean, I've been doing this for 20 years. My body is so broken down. I'm ripping this past surgery when I ripped the bicep off the bone and have to get my bicep pulled back up and screwed into my arm, and my leg bone from front to back has been the hardest recovery out of all things I've gone through. Broken ankles, broken feet. Actually, broken ankle was DeAnna also.
DeAnna, what are you doing over there?
But man, broken feet, broken eye sockets. My body's like been through hell and back. So being
Sorry.
able to
I'm like a bull in a china shop.
but that's just what happens when you start getting older, and it's the injuries in training, not necessarily just the fights.
Yeah.
My last fight was the very first fight I'd ever actually been injured in. It was my last fight, and but it comes with time and it comes with age. That's why literally I am so amazed at the guys that stepped up and came back, trained their hearts out to fight after they haven't fought for so many years.
Yeah.
Like, huge kudos to them. Huge.
And
Steve Sharp will be like 9 years.
Like, Sharp. Oh my gosh. Good job, Steve. That's amazing. I have so much respect for him. And
absolutely.
And
Jerome Hatch.
Oh my gosh.
Jason South.
Oh yeah.
All those guys. That is so awesome. I'm so excited to see everybody.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's gonna be amazing. And Skylar Fraser,
yeah.
Like so many old school incredible that came out and to fight, to train their hearts out, and cut weight, and then just like what was it, 2 weeks before the fight?
No, like 2 days,
No,
48 hours.
48 hours.
Oh gosh.
10 hours out that's out of weigh-ins.
Yeah, it was. I got the text message or Cody made the post that it got pulled at 6:45 the night before weigh-ins.
Oh my gosh, why did I think it was 2 weeks?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But to be able to just keep up
If only.
with watching Soula train her butt off, and then have to okay, pace yourself, don't gain weight again. So hard.
Heck yeah.
I cried all the way to the pizza parlor that night. So
I ate Soula. I ate a whole pizza and box of donuts that night.
Dude,
I was
me too.
I was 2 pounds away from weight, and I'm
half
like,
your size.
boom. Yeah, literally fighting at half my size.
Oh, sad.
So Soula, is there still tickets available to watch the fights?
There are tickets available.
Okay.
We are only using Mitch's link because it's kind of weird to ask people to choose. So we're just using Mitch's link, so you can. It's on his Instagram, his Facebook. You can message me and I'll send it to you. No problem there. Yes, come watch. It's gonna be it's like I can honestly say this is the first fight card I've ever been on where I I always get excited to fight, but then usually I'm like, hey, let's get out of here and go to McDonald's or something. But this is the first fight card I've been on where I'm excited to fight and then turn around and sit down and be a fan. I've never got to experience that before, so this is gonna be a good one, guys. I'm excited.
Yeah, so hit up Soula or Mitch if you want to get tickets. There'll be a pay-per-view link. I'm sure Zack or I will be posting the pay-per-view link if you cannot make it there. Tandi, or Soula, before we close up with, do you have any sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, but I'm honestly really depleted. I can't think off the top.
I get it.
But I want to thank my gyms. I train out of EGBAR, Jiu-Jitsu and MMA in Provo. And I train out of Tandi's gym, Wasatch Combat Sports. Those were my 2 gyms, and I love them both very dearly. And there's a lot of other people that I need to thank, but that's going to come on the microphone after the win on Saturday.
We get it.
Yeah.
Hard.
Tandi, any shout outs you want to give?
I guess just all the shout outs to everyone that's helping her get ready. I mean, I can't be there. I mean, she was like, when can you clench with me? I'm like, I can't even hold my baby right now. So all the people helping Soula and man,
listen, we've put in so much work together over the last decade that it's there.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
So
everyone at my gym that's just doing amazing. So it's awesome.
Deanna, do you want to give a shout out? It looks like we got one question. Let's answer this question here real quick, and then Deanna will let you give your shout outs and we'll let you guys wrap up. Question off topic. What's your guys' opinion on training and things you have seen or ran into as women from other fighters and coaches? Nutshell, thoughts on women's self-defense, other people's holding back in sparring or training, some coach's opinion on being trained differently because you're a woman and not strong enough, et cetera, et cetera. Basically, advice for or your opinion on everyone trying to start out. Shit, yeah, seen her bug,
Wow.
I'll say one thing. That's why it's important for girls to train with girls, because girls are gonna go hard on Soula, but it's gonna be like a good challenge for her and good training for her, because if a guy goes hard on her, no matter what, his knuckle strength, his bone density, all of that, he could cause damage and like seriously injure her, or they'll go too light to where it's not
realistic.
Right.
So I feel like this is something that I mentioned
Exactly
on the last podcast that we did.
You did. Yep.
The biggest game changer for me was finding women to train with. Mina is a great example. Deanna is a great example. I've always trained with Tandi, but for a while there, she was pretty much my only female training partner, because this is such a male-dominated sport. And even when you find smaller guys, it's not the same. Like the speed's not the same. When I hear, I'm just going to be honest, when I hear a female fighter say, I don't train with women, they're not going to do well.
Yeah.
You know, when I hear other girls be like, I only train with guys, I don't like training with girls, I'm like, yeah, well, you're screwed. So, and maybe not now, but when you start reaching the higher levels, because we don't fight the same as men do.
Yeah.
So, and as far as the self-defense question goes, be very careful if you're going to take a self-defense class. There's a lot of hacks out there. Even, like, I hate to say this, but even locally, like I've seen.
Say it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen some crap. Like if anybody is teaching you self-defense and they tell you to fall on your back and try and suicide throw some 200-pound guy over you, it's not going to work. Okay. So, in fact, actually, the three of us should teach a self-defense class. That would be fun. That would be
There
smart.
you go.
I should.
Three
There you
girls
go.
who actually know how to fight. That could be something.
Be a pretty badass class. Deanna, do you have any thoughts on any thoughts on that stuff?
I think that's a great idea.
Well said, Deanna. Well said.
Yeah, because like I've trained with a lot of guys, I've trained with a lot of girls, and there's a whole lot of difference in training with with both of them. Like there's good and bad things. Just like yeah, I'm like, I don't know, sure I'm speaking English right now. Anyways, no, what Soula said too, like there's a lot of girls like, oh, I don't train with other girls, and I'm like, okay, well, high five to you, have fun losing your next fight. So that should be a fun one. Like sometimes I do like training with guys more, and I've had a couple of guy training partners through the years, and it makes me laugh because they're like, yeah, when I first started training with Deanna, I felt bad. I didn't really want to punch her. I was kind of holding back a little bit, and then that bitch punched. That's what I wanted. Perfect. Because I don't like people to hold back on me. I want to go skill for skill. It's dumb with that kind of situation. Like you're not trying to kill your training partners. Like whether it's male or whether it's female, you're not trying to kill your training partners. Like I don't know.
Right.
It's a weird
Very
situation.
Train with everybody.
But I love being able to train with Soula. I loved being able to train with Tandi. I actually still. Yeah, exactly.
Train with everybody. That's why we always
I
switch
actually have
partners
like
sparring, right?
trauma. I see glitter toes coming at my eyeballs in my dreams. Tandi.
Dude, she teeped me in the face
Exactly.
one time, and her tongue went inside
more
my
females
mouth.
should get into it because it's nice having.
Oh no, I remember that.
I've got all over my teeth.
I think those toes have also been inside my mouth in a similar situation. So
we can talk about that on another podcast.
I love you, ladies.
I love it.
Deanna, any shout outs you want to give before we get out of here?
Yeah, it's just the toes. It's not the rest of the foot. It's just the glitter toe coming at my eyeball that I see in my dreams. Love you too.
Oh man.
Thanks for having us on. Sorry, I'm like a little bit. Yes, thankful for those toes because I wouldn't be where I'm at without them. So I thank your glitter toes, Tandi. Soula, like I'm just super excited for her fight. Everybody that's put in work to try and help her out. Like I was half gimpy with like one working leg, trying to help her out, doing what I can. But I know Fierce is putting on a good card this weekend, and she's gonna do great, and Mitch is gonna do great, and this is about her. She's got a great future in fighting, and just super excited to see all the hard work pay off finally this weekend after what feels like 10 years of waiting for this fight to actually happen, and it's actually going to happen now, and I'm excited for her. And seriously, feed her because I can't stand next to her because she's like this big, and she needs to weigh in, and so I can stand next to her again. So.
All right, ladies. I appreciate you guys all joining us today. It was awesome having all you guys on. Soula, we will see you on Saturday in the cage.
You sure will.
For under a minute, and then we're going to congratulate you and take pictures, and we'll go from there.
Hey, Soula, do you remember our deal?
Yeah, you're going to pay me to get a finish. I know.
Yeah,
you're not the only one. I'm a Greek kid. I remember these things when it comes to bets and stuff.
Good.
Let's get it.
Tandi, thanks again for taking the time. We really appreciate it. You got a freaking amazing gym down there in Orem. I love it down there. Awesome trainers.
Hey, they all took over for me. They all took over, and they're doing incredible.
Right on. DeAnna, thank you very much. See you guys on Saturday.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
See you guys.
Bye.
We out.